So the final set of data over here is some light intensity data. We had 5 different rooms in which we analyzed the brightness of the lights in the room. So we had room 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we measured a value for each one. Now this is very similar to this set of data over here, except that once again, it does not make sense to add up all of these different light intensities. These are 5 separate rooms, and we can't come up with a total light intensity for these rooms. So the pie chart is out of the question. So what we're left with here, again, this isn't a number that is changing over time. It is 5 completely separate situations. So the graph that makes sense here is either a bar or a column chart. And the only difference between these two is whether it's horizontal or vertical. So in this case, I'm going to use a column chart where we'll plot them vertically. So what we're going to do is select, first of all, the values that we want to plot, and including the title. So once that's selected, I can click on Insert, and I'm going to click on Column. And again, we have a variety of different types. And once again, we're most commonly going to use the first one right here. So that's going to give us a set of data to start with. Now, if we look at the x-axis here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not very descriptive, doesn't really tell us a whole lot, so we're going to add a few things here that will make this graph more descriptive and speak to its audience a little more clearly. So we're going to click on the graph and go up to Layout, and we're going to click on Axis Title, Primary Horizontal Axis. And we're going to select Title below the axis. And I'm just going to call this Room Number. Now, coincidentally, we have room number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which are exactly the same as the numbers that we have up here. However, that's just out of chance. Excel will automatically number these sequentially starting at 1. So, in order to make sure that if we happen to change any of these, for example, if I suddenly realize that this wasn't room 2, it was room 22, we notice that the graph doesn't update. So to fix that, I'm going to click on the graph, I'm going to right-click on it, and click Select Data. And once again, like we did with the line chart, we're going to change the horizontal category axis labels. So we're going to click Edit, and we're just going to select the labels for the horizontal axis down here. And that's these 5 values right here. And click OK. And we can click OK again. And you'll see already that is updated to 22. If I now change any of these other ones, for example to 43B, we'll see that automatically updates in the graph. Now again, we need to put on a y-axis label, something to tell us what these numbers along the left-hand side mean. So I'm going to select the graph, I'm going to click on Layout, and I'm going to choose a vertical axis title. And I always find it's helpful to put the units there at the end so that everyone knows in what units you're talking about. Now again, we want a title here that makes sense, so light intensity in different classrooms. And then finally, we've got a legend on the right-hand side. We only have one type of data being presented, so this is just taking up room we don't need. So we can click on Legend and remove it. Now, if we wanted to add a second set of data, for example, let's say we did this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and so we wanted to add all 5 days for all 5 different classrooms, we could click Select Data and add another series exactly as we had done with the temperature data that we had before. So the way that we create this graph is exactly the same as the way we created the line graph. It's just a different view that we have at the end. So I'm going to cancel that because we don't actually have a second set of data. Once again, you can change a variety of factors like the colors, the maximum, minimum of the different scales by just selecting different areas of the graph and clicking on Format Major Grid Lines or Format Axis or that sort of thing. So that covers the different types of graphs that we commonly create in Excel. There are a variety of other different types of graphs, but once you get the hang of a couple of them, you generally get the hang of how to use each one of them.